Have you ever been accused of being wishy-washy in your real estate career? I was just accused of being wishy-washy by someone I really respect. And if you'd like to hear more about that, then you're in the right place. Let's chat. Hi, I'm Mike Cerrone with the Comeback Agent, and I just had a little bit of a shock to the system, which I probably need. But I was describing again. Let me give you the quick background. I'm coming back into real estate after a 15-year break, and my goal is to sell 25 homes in my first year. So there's the setup. And I'm sitting here on day two, and I was chatting with my wife, who's been my business advisor for my entire career. We've been together for over 3 decades, and so I was chatting with her about what I'm doing and how I want to try this, and I want to go. I was going to do this, and now I'm thinking about maybe doing this as far as my approach to the business. And she kind of laid it on me and said, Mike, that's all good and everything, but you kind of keep changing your approach, and you're not going to get any traction if you keep changing how you approach this. In fact, you're just going to waste a lot of time, and you're just going to kind of spin out. It's not going to go anywhere. And that was a little hard to hear, but probably really true. So, it's good to have someone you can knock some ideas get around with and get their opinion, especially when they'll be honest with you. So again, I'm sharing this because I want to be open and transparent about this process and the reality of the process rather than just the theory of the process. So by the way, what we're talking about is I was going to be doing some circle prospecting. That's been my latest plan as I do some expireds and maybe some circle prospecting. Then I just heard again about absentee owners, what I in the past called non-owner occupied NOOs. I think that's a really interesting niche. I'm trying to keep it small, tight, geographic. And I know the more I get into a niche, the better my results will be. So anyway, I brought that up with my wife, and I said, I'm thinking about now going down this path of NOOs. And that's when she said, okay, that's fine. But, if you keep changing back and forth and you never actually jump in and start working towards something for a long period of time, you're not going to gain any expertise. And she's 100% right. So I've got to give myself a deadline for those experiments in my brain and start moving forward. And that's going to be tomorrow for me. So I'm sitting here on a Thursday. Tomorrow's a Friday. That'll be the 3rd day of the year. I'm starting off a little bit rough here. But I think what I'm going to do tomorrow, my goal is to experiment a little bit and to maybe test out a couple of different ideas with some calls to a couple of different groups and just kind of get a feel for which one feels right. I've analyzed it logically, and now I got to see what emotionally sits well with me. I know that sounds weird, but that's kind of where the rubber meets the road and the reality of doing a small business where you're doing everything yourself. You got to be comfortable in that niche. I know niches are where the value is. That's what has always been successful for me. So now it's a matter of finding the new niche that I'm really happy about and something I'm really going to pour myself into. And so I recommend you do the same kind of heart search for that niche that you really want to work in. If you're working in it already, fantastic. And if you don't feel like you're working in it, maybe you need to do a little bit of search. But as I was just advised by my wise advisor, don't do that forever. I've talked to a lot of agents, and they do have that problem, right? You're jumping around from this to that to the other. You work on something for a couple of days or weeks or months, and then you skip to something else. And so you got to pick one and just go right at it so you can learn all the intricacies of it. So I'll keep you updated on my progress, but I want to let you know what was happening, that this is the real world stuff you may be experiencing, and some of my ideas of how I'm going to push past that. And that although it was hard to hear, it was probably a good piece of advice I got from my advisor. So in any event, hope this has been helpful. If you like it, give us a thumbs up. You want to hear more information like this, go ahead and give us that thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments or advice for me, go ahead and drop it down in the comments below. Love to read that and see that from folks and get some inspiration. And if you like what we're doing, you want to go along on the journey, you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. All right, appreciate your time today. Keep moving forward. Bye for now.